Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday and welcome to Dreamstruck. We are so excited for this evening because tonight we actually have a special guest, the team from Project Broadcast. They are coming on tonight to tell us what Project Broadcast is all about, how it can benefit our businesses as Sensi consultants. And also they're here to answer any questions that you might have. I know that we reached out to them because we saw so much chatter, so many questions about Project Broadcast. What is it? How much is it? How do you use it? Well, sit tight tonight because you're going to be, again, in for a treat. We will be monitoring the chat so that way we can answer any questions that you might have as well. So if you are on here and you're alone, bring some company, invite your team members, and get ready. So Jake, the floor is yours. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this evening.
Well, thank you guys for reaching out and asking us to even do this. We love doing these calls. It's always fun. And we used to do these and I would show people Project Broadcast kind of on the call, and Dawn, who's on the call with me, she's part of our customer success team. She helped me to see that, like, yeah, Jake, people are already glassed over by the time you show them the app. What they really want to know is, what the heck do they use this for? And I'm like, oh, well, let's kind of change up the way we do these calls. So what we're going to try to do tonight is really answer one simple question. And the question is, do you think Project Broadcast can help your business? You'll probably hear me say training.projectbroadcast.com. I don't know, probably more times than you want to hear. It should be a fun drinking game. If you want to play that as many times as I'll probably say training.projectbroadcast.com. But we're going to talk about what text marketing even is, because maybe you don't even know what it is, why we think texting as a channel is a good channel to communicate. And we'll spend most of our time talking very specifically about how do you use a tool like Project Broadcast to grow your business. And then if we've got time, we'll take questions. Dawn is here to answer questions in the chat as well. I know Teresa and others are here that are panelists will help answer your questions. If I miss something or you guys want me to answer something, please tell me to shut up so that I can get the question answered. What I like to do first, because I'm always intrigued by who we kind of have on the call, I want you to do me a quick favor in the chat. I want you to just type the word yes if you're already a Project Broadcast user, and type the word no if you're not a Project Broadcast user. And it gives me a good idea. There's a lot of people in here, so I have to see if I can get in. Well, no, I see a bunch of no's going. So that means most people aren't Project Broadcast users. So for the people who are Project Broadcast users, you get to help me tonight. If you see questions in the chat that you know the answer to, make sure to kind of contribute to the conversation. Did I just see someone say I pay for it but don't know how to use it? Is that Cherish Every Moment Sisters? What is her actual name? Does anybody know who that is?
That's Kim.
Kim, we're solving that tonight. Another person, no, and I stopped using. Okay, so we got a lot of no's, some yeses, a few I pay for it but don't use it. Well, let's fix that tonight, because the reason you're not using it is because you don't really know what to use it for. And we'll spend a lot of time tonight talking about what to specifically use Project Broadcast for. But let's just jump in and we'll talk about what text marketing even is, because you might be on the call because you're, a cross line or an upline said you should be on this call and you're like, I don't know, whatever. I have no idea what Project Broadcast is. Well, I'm here to help demystify that for you. So text marketing in general is just getting a text message from a business. It's really that simple. Most of us have gotten text messages from restaurants that we like to go to, or a reminder from your dentist about an appointment, or that your table is ready at a restaurant, right? We've participated in some way in getting text messages from businesses. Now, most of the time when you get a text message from a business, it comes from a short code, like a little 5-digit phone number, and you can't call the number, you can't respond to the text message. And our brains have kind of programmed us that when you get a message from one of those short phone numbers, that it's spam. It's from a system. There's not a real person. I still get text messages from Chili's, and I always joke because I really do get text messages that are like $1 off fried pickles at Chili's, and it comes from like a short phone number, whatever, 52525. And I know there isn't a guy that works for Chili's sitting there sending me $1 off fried pickle text messages at Chili's, right? I know it's a system. I know they're just blasting that out to as many people as possible with the hopes that someone comes in and actually purchases a meal. Well, with Project Broadcast, when you sign up for our service, you pick the state or province that you live in, if you're in Canada, and you get a phone number. And that phone number, it's a real phone number that phone number becomes your project broadcast phone number. You can send and receive text messages from that phone number, and you can make and receive phone calls from that phone number using either the Project Broadcast mobile app that you can get on your iOS or Android device, or using the Project Broadcast website. Most of the features in the website are in mobile and vice versa. There are a few features that are only on web, like managing your payment information, for example. That's only on web. But ultimately, text marketing is just sending a text message to someone about your business. The trick, though, is for the recipient not to know you're using a system when you're sending them a message. Like, that's the real trick. You want them to feel like you just sent them a text message from your phone. And that's why we're so big on this idea that small business messaging should be done from real phone numbers. Because when I send someone a text about my business, I want them to be able to respond to the text so I can have a conversation with them. And I may even want them to be able to call me on that phone number. So in order to do that, I need it to be a real phone number, which is why you get a real phone number when you sign up for Project Broadcast. Now, understanding what text marketing is great, but why does it matter if you're texting people or not? And I really take Project Broadcast out of this conversation. To me, this is just a human question. If you look at your phone, you have a ton of different ways to communicate with people. You've got your email, you've got your voicemail, you've got your text messaging app, you've got Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, Clubhouse, Telegram, Signal. I mean, there's just a gazillion of them. Well, in all those different apps, you have a badge, and the badge represents the number of unread messages in that app, right? So if I see the number 80 on my email, I know that I have 80 unread emails. And if I see the number 6 on my voicemail on my phone app, I know I have 6 voicemails that I haven't listened to. Generally speaking, and actually we'll do a quick contest. Dawn, I haven't done this before, so you'll have to help me manage this. Do me a favor and get out your phone if you have it. And you have to be truthful. I wanted to know who has the highest number of unread emails on their email app on their phone. So if you open your phone and look at your email app, you have the little icon and it tells you how many unread emails you have. How many do you have? And be truthful. Only 9. That's pretty good. I'm a guy that like constantly reads my email, so it drives me nuts when I see no. I just saw 36,000.
Yeah, I think Carrie wins.
Carrie
oh wait, hold on.
36,
Oh wait,
000.
Kelly has Nelda wins.
What's Nelda? Let's see.
65,000.
65,000. Anyone beat 65,000?
Andy has 95,000.
I'll tell you a quick story. I had to write a program a couple of years ago because my wife had 500,000 unread emails, and I had to write a program to delete them because it kept crashing her Gmail account when she would try to delete emails. All right, I saw a 99,000 to Cam. Anyone beating Cam?
Teresa has 100,000.
This is getting larger.
I know, this is
Teresa's at 100,000.
Megan's at 136,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give 5 seconds. Oh, wait. Someone had 238,000. Who was that? Oh, I have second email with over 200,000. All right, Dawn, pick the top, find 3 with a giant number.
Okay, Dawn, Victoria, and Sandy.
All right, so Dawn, write their name down. We'll make sure they get like a month for your Project Broadcast or something. Now, you got to keep playing along. And this is where I'm going to show you, like, this has nothing to do with Project Broadcast. Now, I want you to put in the number of unread text messages that you have. I bet you the numbers are significantly lower, or they're 0. Like with me, they're all 0. Look at all these zeros. There's a 3. Caitlin, you need to answer your text messages, girl. 68. See? All right, Megan's got 1,000. But notice how we don't see 100,000s and 90,000s and 238,000s. So all this really tells us is that, like, as normal humans, we read our text messages. That's all this says, right? So if it's like normal, as normal people in our daily walk in life, we read text messages, and there's 130 people on this call, and I don't know how many people participated in that, but most of the people that responded, the number of unread text messages was significantly lower than the number of unread emails. And I bet you, if we did the exact same thing, and I asked you about your unread Facebook messages or your unlistened to voicemails, all of those numbers would be higher than the number of unread text messages. And all that means is that in our daily walk, we read text messages. And if in our daily walk we read text messages, guess what? So do our customers. And if our customers read their text messages just in their regular life, that all that tells me is like a business person is that it's a good channel to communicate with people. That's why we think texting is so powerful. Not because it's some magical technology. We think texting is a great channel because people read them. And if you're into numbers and you're a nerd like I am, 98% of text messages are read. 98%. And 96% of text messages are read in the first 2 minutes of delivery. And those numbers change a little bit depending on where you look online, but those are about the numbers you would find in terms of text messaging read rates. And if you compare that to email has an open rate of about 20% and a read rate of about 15%. So just basic math, right? You send 100 emails, 15 get read. You send 100 text messages, 98 get read, and 96 of them were read within the first 2 minutes of them getting the text message. So it's just a very powerful channel to communicate. And I think I'll give you my opinion. You'll learn I'm super opinionated. Doesn't mean I'm right. I am right though, but I always say that just so I don't sound egotistical, but I'm right. Is that when you look at your phone and you get a text message, and I'm sorry, my green screen is on, but when you look at your phone, you get a text message, what happens? Your phone unlocks for a lot of people. And a lot of times you can read the text message and never even touch the phone. Like you never even touch the phone and you can read a text message. You can also respond with something as simple as hearting a message or sending a thumbs up emoji, right? And I've been using email for, I don't know, 35 years almost. I've never once in 30 plus years responded to an email with a heart emoji or a thumbs up emoji. I know that when I get an email, it's typically going to be longer. I got to read it. I got to sit down and craft a response. I got to use grammar, punctuation, complete sentences. But when I'm responding to text messages, it's very acceptable to respond with simple language or even something as simple as an emoji. It's very acceptable. To me, that means it's lower friction. And I think that lower friction makes it really effective. Just like your voicemails, in order to respond to a voicemail, what do you got to do? You got to actually call somebody, which is why voicemails are not listened to, because people don't want to spend the 5 minutes to listen to a voicemail. And then they don't want to pick up the phone and call the other person to respond to it. That's a lot of friction. Email, a lot of friction, but texting has a lot lower friction. And I think that's why as a communication channel, it's really powerful. So those are just my little quick spiel on why we think texting is a good channel. And for those of you with 200,000 emails, come on now. Gosh, that's a lot of emails. Don't email that person, whoever that was. So let's talk about, though, you're in a direct sales network marketing business. You know what text marketing is. We've talked about why texting is a good channel. Again, none of that matters until you know like what to do with Project Broadcast. So Project Broadcast is a text marketing platform. There are a ton of features in Project Broadcast. And for those that are even on the call now that use Project Broadcast and have been using it for a long time, I guarantee you they do not use all the features. It does a ton of stuff. So what we're going to talk about now is like what in your business you can use it for. Now, when you decide that Project Broadcast is the right tool for you to grow your business, there's a website, training.projectbroadcast.com, that you can create a free account on. And there is a mountain of training there. There's two types of training. There's feature-based training, like I want to know what dynamic fields are. And you can just learn about what dynamic fields are. And that's how you insert like people's first name and stuff into your messages. But there's also training that's very business focused, like how do I crush a vendor event? And it tells you, here's the 6 features you're going to use, and here's how you're going to use them. And here's how you would go do a vendor event and use Project Broadcast to not have to keep a clipboard at a table and collect names, right? There's training that's like that. When you get your Project Broadcast account, it gives you 2 contacts by default. It gives you a Project Broadcast support contact and a Project Broadcast success contact. So you can get support either by messaging the support contact. You can get support by posting in our Project Broadcast Facebook group. You can get support by posting in our Project Broadcast Cincy Facebook group, which is just for Cincy people. Or you can send us an email at support@projectbroadcast.com. So we're everywhere we can be to provide you support. And we also have channels for you to get help with strategy and success. You've got that success contact in your project broadcast account. So if you're like, man, I'm doing a bridal show and I really want to know how I can like be effective at collecting leads and following up with them. Like, how do you suggest I do that? Well, you can message the success contact and we can either point you to a training or give you some tips on how you can be successful in doing that. So just know that we're here to help you. And there's always training.projectbroadcast.com for you to get more training on the platform. So let's talk about what you'd use it for. I use this phrase and I stole it literally years ago. I don't remember where I stole it from, so you're welcome to steal it from me. This term called opportunity lists. I love this idea. So an opportunity list is a low friction reason to reach out to people. And low friction is kind of important here. Low friction means the opportunity for a negative response. And the reason I'm big on low friction in opportunity lists is that when you're building a business, especially if you're newer in building your business, when you do get a negative response, again, this isn't a project broadcast thing, it's just the truth. When you get a negative response in your business, it causes you to kind of take a step back and you got to recover from that negative response and kind of get back in the game, right? Now, over time, as you get more confident in the business and you do it more, that recovery time gets lower and lower and you can kind of bounce back into the game faster and faster. But initially, you want to do your best to eliminate the opportunity or the possibility to get those negative responses. So opportunity list in general just means a reason to reach out to people with low friction, right? So let's talk about what some of those could be. What are you doing today? And I say what, and what I really mean, are you doing? Because I know you want to, but you're not. And I mean that with a nice smile on my face. What are you doing today for customer follow-up? Like, do you have a real customer follow-up system in place? Like a 2-2-2, meaning 2-day, 2-week, 2-month follow-up system. And for you guys, you sell consumables. So yeah, a warmer may last someone for years, but the scents don't. So do you have, some type of way to reach out to people for reorder? You could easily create a customer follow-up system in Project Broadcast using our campaigns feature. You would use what we call a drip campaign. And then anytime you had someone place an order, you could add them to your drip campaign and it would schedule a 2-day, a 2-week, a 2-month, maybe you want a 6-month, maybe you want a 1-year follow-up with your customer. Very easy to create a follow-up system. What about new consultant onboarding? I'm sure everyone has an awesome new consultant onboarding experience that is the exact same for every new consultant that comes on, that's super effective, but probably not. But you could use Project Broadcast to do that. You could create a 30, a 60, a 90-day new consultant onboarding campaign where anytime you get a new consultant, they go in your new consultant onboarding and it teaches them about the business, about the products, maybe about your back office, maybe how they should post on social, what kind of content should they use to be successful. And it does that for their first 30, 60, or 90 days to be a successful consultant. Super easy to do in Project Broadcast. What about gratitude messages? Like, when was the last time you just sent a message of gratitude to your customers that have been with you for a long time? Super, super easy to do. Or birthday messages. Do you send out birthday messages to every single person, every customer that you have every single month when it's their birthday? And maybe give them a little offer, like a little coupon or something for their birthday. Very easy to do in Project Broadcast. Or what are you doing for prospecting even? Like for today, I'd bet hard money that most of you use social media to grow your business. And you'll post something on, let's use Instagram. You'll post something on Instagram. Maybe you got a picture of your favorite warmer or your favorite scent, and you're showing that, and you're hoping that people will either like it or comment on it or maybe follow you. That's your goal, right? And then ultimately you want to turn them into a customer. But when that post goes away or it's no longer in their feed, it doesn't really serve you very well, right? Well, what if you use the Project Broadcast keywords feature, which is where someone can text a word or phrase to your Project Broadcast phone number, and it does things like adds them to a campaign and teaches them about a particular product or about the opportunity if you like, inviting people to your opportunity. And that lives on your social media. So now in your bio on Instagram, it literally says, text me, and it has a phone number. Well, guess what? When you see influencers and, famous people who have text me in their bio on Instagram, that's not their real phone number. They're using Project Broadcast or a tool like Project Broadcast to communicate with their audience. So you could do stuff like, when you post those videos today, like what if you had it as a reel, and then in the reel as overlaid text, you tell them to text whatever, a name of a warmer that you really love, or a scent that you really love that's maybe seasonal, and you have text that word to your Project Broadcast number, and then you save that as a highlight. Well, guess what? Like tomorrow, if someone sees that highlight, they can text you the word. And 6 months from now, when someone sees that highlight, they can text you the word. So you can use Project Broadcast to even prospect and grow the business, not just communicate with your existing customers or team. You can use Project Broadcast for mining. I call it mining, and maybe you call it something different, but mining for leaders. Like one of the things I love to think about are finding people who want to run with the business. You've heard that phrase, you should be running with the runners. Well, how do you find the runners? Well, what if you sent out a Project Broadcast each month to every consultant who enrolled their first consultant? That's a great opportunity list of people that want to do the business. They literally have shared for the first time and enrolled a consultant. How do you help them grow their business? Or what if you sent a message every month to people who it was their Sensiversary, right? It's the anniversary of when they signed up for Sensi. It's another great low friction way to reach out to people and one, say thanks for either being a customer or being on my team for another year, and use that as an opportunity to invite them to a phone call to maybe talk about their goals for the upcoming year and how you can help them. So you'll notice this idea of an opportunity list, in my opinion, it's infinite, right? Do you have a birthday club? Do you do a VIP club? You could do that with Project Broadcast. What about a recipe club where you're going to send, them a weekly recipe that you like putting in your warmer, whatever, right? There's so many things that you could do to drive value to people where you're not always just asking them to buy something. And that's where Project Broadcast becomes really powerful, is you use it for things like follow-up, onboarding, prospecting, birthdays. The list again goes really, it's infinite. And if you were to make this list of all the reasons you could reach out to people, right? All the reasons. Only one thing on the list would be ask for a sale. And I'm not at my primary house. I'm actually in the country today, but we get these envelopes in the mail in Texas. Teresa, you said you're in Texas, right? All right, so you'll know this. You guys may get them where you're at too, but in Texas, we get these envelopes in the mail, and it's an envelope full of coupons, and it's called a Valpak. Do you know what that is, Teresa? Do y'all get Valpaks? Okay, good. All right. So just imagine it's a big envelope about this big, and it's like this thick, and it is just full of coupons. And I am convinced there are only two types of people on this entire planet. You tell me in the comments if you're number one or number two. And if you type number three, there's no such thing. There's only one or two types of people. They're the type of people who get the Valpak and they immediately throw it in the trash. And there's the type of people that get the Valpak, they open it, they look through it about 10 seconds, and then they throw it in the trash. I used to be a type 2. I would thumb through it for just a few seconds, and then I would throw it in the trash. But now I just get it and immediately throw it in the trash. But I would bet hard money there's no such thing as a type 3. You're either one or two. And the reason I like to talk about Valpaks is because I want you to think about your business like that. If I were to open my conversation, I'll pick on Teresa. If I were to open my conversation with Teresa, and all I saw in my conversation with her, again, not a Project Broadcast thing. I don't care if it's on Facebook, on email, on Insta, on text. If I open my conversation with Teresa and all I see are messages from Teresa that say promo, BOGO, incentive, what is Teresa to me? She's a Valpak. And I'm either going to look at her message for like 5 seconds and throw it away, or I'm not even going to look at her message. And by the way, I'm not deciding this. Teresa has trained me that she only messages me to ask me to buy something and offer me a sale or a promo or a coupon, right? So what I really want is I want to open my conversation with Teresa and see things like a happy birthday or a picture of a new warmer that she thinks is cute and she thought of me that I would love it, or a recipe that I asked for her to send to me, or an anniversary message, or a gratitude message that she's just thankful that I'm on her team or one of her customers, or she saw that my kid was at a baseball game and she wanted to know how the baseball game went. And then on occasion, when Teresa sends me a message about a sale or a promo, what happens? The most important thing in marketing happens. I read her message, right? So if I don't ever read the message, guaranteed it won't convert to a sale. But if I have a real dialogue with Teresa and we're really having communication over the channel, then when the opportunity does come for her to ask me to buy something, I will read the message because she's trained me that we have a real conversation. We have a real relationship. And like my primary belief is that in our businesses, the business flows out of a relationship, not the other way around. So if you believe that your business flows out of your relationships, it means that the primary thing that you should be doing is building and fostering relationship, because business comes from that, not the other way around. And this is why I think this opportunity list is so, this concept is so critical. Dawn has this wonderful phrase, and I'm not going to remember it exactly, but she always says PB second, or it's something to that effect, right? Dawn, is PB second is what you say.
Yeah,
Right?
I always say, I hope I don't get fired for this. I hope Jake never hears it. I say that jokingly, but yeah, the tool is second. I never have a conversation about strategy with a project broadcast user that's about project broadcast. I always say, how do you want to communicate in your business? Who do you want to communicate with? And what's the purpose of that communication? And then I would love to help you get that set up in project broadcast, but it's never project broadcast first. It's always communication, relationships first, definitely.
Yeah, I'm really big on this idea that like project broadcast is a great tool and it does a gazillion things. But ultimately, if you haven't sat down and really thought about what you want to do in your business, then project broadcast isn't going to help you. Yes, you could send a bunch of messages, but that doesn't mean it's going to ultimately help your business. So Dawn actually even has a training, and I always forget the name of it. It's like high impact communication. Is that right?
Yeah,
So,
I have a training, and I also have like a keyword based choose your own adventure in project broadcast, where you can text me, I think the word choose, and it walks you through kind of like what your next system might be.
oh, that's awesome. Because you can't do, right? You cannot do all the things at once. It's impossible. So if you're thinking like, man, I do need to do customer follow-up, and oh, I don't have consultant onboarding, and oh, a VIP club sounds really cool, and yep, I need to do some prospecting. You do not try to tackle all that all at one time. I mean, you can try, but then you're going to, go insane. So, pick the highest value thing for your business today and say, I want to go tackle that thing. And you may only use a few features in project broadcast to accomplish that. Like, let's just pretend you want to do, customer follow-up first. Well, you'll probably use our campaign feature. You'll probably use a drip style campaign to build your customer follow-up system. And you'll probably use import contacts because you want to be able to import your contacts from your back office and use our tags feature to tag them. But those are probably the three primary features to tackle customer follow-up. And then once you get your customer follow-up system in place, then you can tackle, that next thing in your list. But you don't want to tackle them all at one time. And again, like with Dawn saying, she's got this keyword that'll help you decide what the first thing is. And Dawn, if you can put that in the chat for people, that'd be awesome. And tell them what to text and to what number. And then there's also a training at training.projectbroadcast.com called High Impact Communication, where Dawn walks you through these questions in training to help you get to what is that first thing that you go tackle using project broadcast.
Can I'm going to say gently, no, I'm not going to share that here, only because it's in the Quickstart. It will lead them after they've had the foundation set up. It'll take them right to high impact communication and that keyword. So I want steps 1 through 3.
Oh, I like it. So they do get this keyword during Quickstart?
Yeah, so high impact communication is definitely shared in like the 6th step of the quick start. I'm going to confirm right now that the keyword is there, but can you, while we're on this topic of quick start, can you kind of paint a picture of what happens? Like, okay, I sign up for Project Broadcast tonight, and then what? Like, can you even kind of mention milestones, which I think are very exciting, and
So
quick start?
We use Project Broadcast to teach you about Project Broadcast. So I talk about customer follow-up and consultant onboarding, and we eat our own dog food. We literally use Project Broadcast to onboard you to Project Broadcast. So when you sign up for Project Broadcast, you will get messages from the Project Broadcast success contact in your Project Broadcast account that will walk you through starting to set up your Project Broadcast account. It'll point you to the training that's available on our training website. Quick Start is the first training that you do. If you sat down and did all of Quick Start at one time, it's going to take you about 30 to 45 minutes. And in that 30 to 45 minutes, you're going to learn things like setting your broadcast hours, using our chat feature, scheduling a broadcast. Dawn will walk you through even crafting what your first message should look like to your list of contacts, and even helping you import those contacts through Quick Start. So if you, and I talk to users all the time that literally they only know the features that are in Quick Start. They don't use landing pages, configurable forms, trackable links, which are all phenomenal features, but you don't need to know those features to be successful. So when you sign up, the system's going to send you messages to direct you to Quick Start. And as you complete little tasks in the Project Broadcast application, we also like surprise and delight you with credits. We award you credits, and I'll talk about credits in a bit, but you get little prizes along the way while you go and get training to learn Quick Start and learn other areas of the system, which is pretty cool. Did that cover what you wanted to cover, Dawn?
Yeah, we did have a question in the chat too. Is Quick Start new? Kind of.
So we launched the original version of Quick Start in May. If I recall, it was May. And then Dawn totally revamped our Quick Start. I forget when that was. It's gone through 3 versions. It went through another change after, obviously, when it launched. And then Milestones, which is fairly new, launched in December or January. And that's where we really there's all these little messages that the system will send you and then give you credits for doing things like setting your broadcast hours and creating a template for the first time, which we think is pretty cool because, we get to kind of reward you with Project Broadcast credits for learning Project Broadcast, which is fun. And let me talk about credits for a second too. So I won't give you like the long version, but my kind of quick background and where Project Broadcast came from is my co-founder, Brian, who he and I've worked together for over 20 years at every company together. And in 2016, his wife, who's in a network marketing direct sales company, and my wife, who's in a network marketing direct sales company, were actually both looking for text platforms. And there were text platforms that existed, but just to be frank, they sucked. They were not built for people in this profession. The ones that were out there just did not understand the way network marketing direct sales worked and what people needed. So Brian and I decided that we were going to go build Project Broadcast. So for about a year, we sat down and used our resources to launch the first version of Project Broadcast in 2017. The very first version of Project Broadcast in 2017 didn't even have a website. It was only on mobile. And then we quickly rolled out the mobile version, and we've been, building on top of Project Broadcast and adding more features ever since. And a big part of our kind of approach is that we watch you guys a lot, and we learn like, what do network marketers and direct sellers need in their business from a marketing standpoint, and then we implement it. And a lot of the features that you will find in Project Broadcast are specifically built for you. Now, we do have other customers, right? We've got churches and schools and giant nonprofits and big companies that use Project Broadcast, but it ultimately was built for people in network marketing direct sales. So you'll see little features like, for example, in our chat area where you chat with people, I saw my wife one night and it was late. I mean, it was literally like 2 a.m, I think. And she was in Project Broadcast reading a message. And then I saw her go to a whole other area of the system and create what's called a scheduled broadcast, which is scheduling a message. But she was only scheduling it to one person. And I was like, what in the world is she doing? So I asked her, I was like, Christy, what are you doing? And she's like, well, I was reading the message and I don't remember the person's name. We'll call her Sally. I was reading a message from Sally and I need to respond to her. And I'm not going to remember to do this tomorrow. So I'm going to go schedule a message just for her so that it sends it tomorrow. And I was like, well, that's genius. Like, you do this kind of stuff all the time. So we literally added this small feature in the chat area that you can type up your entire chat message and then just click a little button and pick a date and time and never leave chat and schedule that chat message for the next day. And we did that because we learned that people in direct sales and network marketing are often working in the evening or they're working late at night and they're not going to remember to respond to someone the following day, but they know what they want to say right now. So we added that feature to make it easy to do that. And there's features like we have a contest feature in Project Broadcast where you can create a contest, add as many contacts as you want to it, and then pick a winner or pick 5 winners. And, if you do vendor events, for example, when you really start doing cool stuff with Project Broadcast, you can start doing things like create a keyword called raffle. And then you go to your vendor event, and instead of having a clipboard there, you have just a piece of paper or even a QR code where they can text the word raffle and Project Broadcast responds with a configurable form for them to fill out their info that you want to collect. And then when they finish filling out the form, it can trigger another keyword that says, thank you so much for filling out the form. We're picking a winner at 3. We'll let you know if you win. And then you can go create a contest in Project Broadcast and add everyone that completed the form to the contest and pick a winner. And you've now got all of your leads already in Project Broadcast with their information that they provided by filling out the form. You created your contest in Project Broadcast so you can tell the person who won the raffle that they won the raffle. And you didn't have to have a single clipboard. You didn't have to go home and try to read everybody's chicken scratch and put it in Excel and upload it to random.org and pick a winner. So we're constantly looking for things like that. And we're like, all right, how do we make that process better and add those features to Project Broadcast, which is why there's so much stuff in there. Or landing pages. I don't know, Teresa, if you guys have started playing around with landing pages yet, but we saw that a lot of our users were paying for other third-party services that were not inexpensive. And all they were using it for was creating these little micro websites. And we were like, well, we could build that. So we built landing pages and rolled that out. I think it was like September, August, October, sometime before. I know it was before Black Friday last year. And it's been a huge hit. People love landing pages. Have you started playing with those yet, Teresa?
I have not, but I can see questions getting ready to pop up. What is a landing page?
All right. So a landing page is like a one-page mini website. So an example of that would be, let's say you wanted to create a recipe and you're like, I would like to actually make this look really nice and cool with pictures and, different backgrounds and wording. Well, you can use our landing page builder and create a little mini web page, and it's all drag and drop. You don't have to know any code. And then we host that for you. And you can send that link out on your social media. You can send it to your contacts and use landing pages to drive additional engagement and have rich, more rich content than just a text message. And they're used heavily. Like I've seen people even do these things called scroll parties right now, which are really, really cool. They will create a landing page, but they make it really long so that literally you could go on social media and say things like, hey, if you want to learn more about our products, text the word party to this phone number. They text the word party to your Project Broadcast phone number. It responds with, hey, I've got a quick scroll party for you here. Just click this link. And when they click the link, it loads the landing page and they just can scroll through this really long little micro website that talks about all the different products, or again, if the opportunity is important to you. And it's all one landing page. And what's really cool about Project Broadcast, again, because it's built for network marketers and direct sellers, we know that everyone can't create content. Like we know that that's not everyone's cup of tea. So we have an entire feature called bundles. And if you're great at creating content, you can create content, meaning keywords, templates, landing pages, campaigns, and you can add it to a bundle. And then you can share the bundle with anyone else in Project Broadcast and they can import it. And when they import it, it creates an exact copy of it. So as soon as they import it, they have their own copy of the content and they can change whatever they want in it. It doesn't affect anyone else because they have their own copy. And it's great for teams to use for sharing content. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's already bundles that people have shared even in the Cincy Project Broadcast Facebook group already, where someone is like, man, this customer follow-up campaign is awesome. Here's my bundle code that I use. Or here's a Black Friday landing page that I built that was awesome. Here's a bundle code that you can use. And when you import that bundle, it's your own copy and you can do whatever you want with it. Change the graphics, change the language, because it's your version of it now. And there's tons of features like that are the number of users that aren't network marketing direct sales that probably use the bundle feature is probably close to 0. Oh, let me see. Do I have questions? Who put that SpongeBob there? Did I do that? What did you do, Dawn?
It was not me.
What was that?
That's a first.
let me talk for a second about pricing. This is really important to us. When we first built Project Broadcast, one of the things we were very cognizant of is that people in our profession, rightly so, are price conscious because you're constantly being asked about buying this tool or paying for this or getting this service. I totally get that. And my honest feedback to people is there's 2 questions you have to ask when you buy a product. And if you can't answer one of the 2 questions, you should not buy the product. So Project Broadcast starts at $15 a month. You have to answer the question, does Project Broadcast save me $15 in time a month? Or does Project Broadcast make me more than $15 a month? And if the answer to either of those or one of those is no, you shouldn't do it. It has to at least save you $15 in time, or it has to make you $15 in income. Now, I always say that because I'm very confident in that if you only use Project Broadcast for customer follow-up, like literally you don't use any other feature other than doing customer follow-up, I'm pretty confident it saves most people more than $15 in time. And it gives you peace of mind that your customers are actually getting followed up with. And then when you layer on things like prospecting, consultant onboarding, a birthday group, text parties, and you layer all that stuff on, to me, it's a no-brainer. It easily is worth $15. And the reason Project Broadcast is so affordable is that we knew if a superstar director, for example, got Project Broadcast and they loved it, but it cost $100 a month, you think they're going to be able to get a new consultant to get Project Broadcast to grow their business? Nope. Because they're not going to be able to invest that kind of money into a tool. So Project Broadcast starter plan is $15 a month. You get 500 credits, and a credit just means an outbound message. If you schedule a message to 10 people, it's 10 credits. Now, when you're talking with someone back and forth, one-on-one, we call that unlimited chat. We don't charge you credits. When someone texts you, so that's an incoming message, we don't charge you for that either. So you pay credits for messages that you automate and send out, like using keywords and campaigns and schedule broadcast messages. And if you don't use all those credits, they roll over. So if you're like, man, I'm not going to use 500 credits yet, that's okay because they roll over. They just start building up and banking. You bank those credits. And when you have a need, maybe there is a sale or an incentive, or maybe Black Friday, Cyber Monday is coming up and you have a higher messaging need for that month, you've got those credits banked so that you can use them. And there's plans literally for any size business. I mean, there's plans with 500 credits. There's plans, I think, with 100,000 credits. So it depends on your messaging need. You can kind of sit down and do some napkin math, right? Of saying, well, I've got this many customers and I want to message people this often, or maybe you want to start with your team, do some napkin math and figure out what plan is going to work best for you. And my suggestion is always just start with a starter plan. Do the starter plan, go through training at training.projectbroadcast.com, which is where you'll find the Quickstart. And then as you start building out either onboarding or prospecting or whatever you want to tackle, then you can kind of look at the math and say, all right, I'm getting the hang of this. This is going to help me. Maybe I need to go to the business plan or the professional plan, but you can decide that later. You can upgrade literally at any point. It's right in the website. You can upgrade or downgrade whenever you need to. And with that,
Jake,
yes.
I have a question for you that I already know the answer to. how would somebody earn credits if they wanted to, in addition to paying for them?
You can actually go to training.projectbroadcast.com and do training. And as you complete training, we give you credits. And Milestones will also surprise and delight you. So as you explore and discover new areas of Project Broadcast and try out new features, you might get some credits for that too.
And referring other people to Project Broadcast.
Oh, there's also that. Yes, you get credits for doing that too.
I meant training. I was pushing you toward training, but there are a few ways to earn credit.
You can get training at training.projectbroadcast.com. Now you do have to create a separate account on the training website. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. It's just a different system. So you have to create a training account, but all the training is free. And I don't know how many training modules we now have, but it's like pages upon pages. And again, you don't have to do all the training day one. Do Quickstart. And then like Teresa just said, she hasn't used landing pages yet. It's a giant feature, but if she hasn't had a need for that yet in her business, she hasn't used it. And when you want to learn about landing pages, guess where you could find training? Anybody want to guess? Dawn, where do you think you can find training on landing pages?
I think everybody knows at this point, but well, actually, that's not true for landing pages.
Why?
That was a trick question. We don't have a course yet because the
beta course.
We're still in beta on landing pages.
I forgot about that.
So trick question, everybody. It's not at training.projectbroadcast.com. There are, I think, 6 webinar replays at training.projectbroadcast.com specifically about landing pages and building specific types. So for example, if you wanted to get off Linktree and you wanted to build that in a Project Broadcast landing page, we have like a link in bio webinar replay, but we do have a beta. So if you are interested in landing pages training, you just text LP to me. And I'll pop that in the chat right now. If you want to be one of my beta testers for that to give me feedback so I can get it.
But I will say landing pages, I would consider an advanced feature. Wouldn't you agree? Do Quickstart first. You want to do Quickstart first.
Yeah, 100% you have to do Quickstart first, but a lot of people in chat are saying LP. I'm just going to have you text it to me at my Project Broadcast number. Yeah, do Quickstart first, but then you can do it. I would say it's going to be very easy for you to pick up landing pages if you're super familiar with like Canva, any kind of drag and drop system. It'll be, I mean, not a learning curve at all. If you're not familiar with drag and drop systems or Canva, I think is a good example. There's going to be a tiny bit of a learning curve, but you will pick it up by designing a landing page. And I feel like that's the best way to learn it for sure.
And another question in the chat, what will a credit buy you? What can it purchase?
3 beers. I'm kidding. So credit. So when you think about your plan, let's use the starter plan. It's $15 a month. So every month when your plan renews, we add 500 credits to your balance. Now, every time you schedule a message, like say you schedule, let's just pretend you have a VIP group. Let's just paint a picture. Let's say you've got a VIP club. A bunch of people have texted you the word VIP. So you've got a bunch of VIPs, and let's just pretend a Marvel warmer just went on sale. And you're like, I got to let the VIPs know. So you go schedule a message to all your VIPs, and let's just pretend there's 50 of them. When you schedule that message to 50 people, that would cost 50 credits. Now, when they respond, because they're like, oh my God, I've been waiting for blah, 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 that won't cost you anything because it's an incoming message. And when you're talking to them one-on-one, you're just chatting with one person back and forth, that also will not cost you credits. So it's only when you schedule that mass message, or you use the campaigns feature, or you use the keywords feature. These are all the automated features of Project Broadcast. That's when it will use your credits. So that's why I said you want to do some napkin math to say, all right, well, I want to send, this many messages to this many people. And that's how you determine kind of what plan you ultimately will need. Now, sometimes you need a little extra credits. Like, let's just pretend you're on the starter plan and you're like, dang it, I need like 100 more credits before my plan renews. Well, you can just purchase a la carte credits. You don't have to upgrade your plan indefinitely. If you just need a few extra credits for a particular month, you can also go into the website and buy a few extra credits just for that month. And if you don't use them, they still roll over. That way you don't have to like upgrade and then next month remember to downgrade, because that becomes a support issue for us because you forget. And then guess what you do? You email us and say, I forgot. And then we have to deal with that. So we give you the ability to buy a little extra if you need it.
So technically one outbound message could be equivalent to 1 credit.
Yep. If you scheduled a message to one person, that's 1 credit. Just think of each message that is sent from the system as 1 credit. So 1 message to 50 people, 50 credits. 1 message to 10 people, 10 credits. 1 message to 1 person, 1 credit. And then incoming messages, 0 credits. We don't charge for incoming, and we don't charge for the back and forth. We used to. This is where we listen to you guys. I'm telling you, we used to charge a credit even in chat. And we had like, I feel like 900 company meetings about this, because I started seeing in all the Facebook groups, people say, hey, when your customers respond, do you then text them from your personal number? And I'm like, wait, what? That is so dumb. And then I would ask people like, why do you do that? And they're like, well, I don't want to use credits. I'm like, well, that makes no sense. Like that's not what the system is. It's designed to be your business phone number. I want you to respond with a thumbs up emoji. I want you to say LOL back and not to think about it costing a credit. So we actually made chat where you're just chatting back and forth with your contacts that unlimited and not charge credits, because it was promoting the wrong behavior when we were charging a credit for it. So
I'm old school PB. So I used to say, I'm going to respond back to you on Messenger. Hold on a second.
No.
It was the worst. It was so awkward, but so thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for improving it.
Think about the recipient, right? Because they just got a text message from a phone number. And then you're saying, I'm going to text you from a different phone number. And then if I'm your customer, I'm like, is it like a burner phone? Like, why are they texting me from 2 phone numbers? Like, I don't understand that. It's real awkward for the customer. So we changed that, thankfully, so that it's unlimited for Dawn, to help Dawn. Yeah. All right. What questions have we missed? I know there's a couple of questions we've missed.
We have some credit clarification questions. So
Sure.
I'll just quickly clarify. Credits are used on any scheduled or automated messages. So it'll be scheduled broadcasts, campaign messages, and keyword replies. So that was one of the questions in the chat. Like if they text VIP and you say thank you, that does use a credit. But all of your conversations in chat do not use any credits. Can we do a quick celebration? I saw this in the chat so long ago. I've been holding on to this. Okay, we have a shout out. So Carol said that she sent a message out this morning that paid for her whole month. And so like at the time I wrote that down, I'm like, oh, that's cool, right? She's not even on the starter plan. So she's on the $50 a month plan and it paid for her whole month. One message she sent out this morning.
Yeah, I'd say that was a pretty good trade.
Not bad.
Yeah, I see where Carol says she remembers when the free chat was $5 extra a month. It used to be. You could add unlimited chat for $5 a month way back. Carol's an OG, man. Back in the day. So yeah, now that's unlimited. And that's part of all plans, starter and above. Same with inbound, outbound calling, actually. Those used to also cost an additional amount each month. And now they're a part of your project broadcast plan, no matter what plan you're on. Again, we kind of modified what we were doing to make it easier for you guys. So that's awesome. Carol, I am curious now. Can you tell me when you started using project broadcast? Because that's a while ago. And while she's doing that, I'll tell you.
Does it tell me on the thing? Does it tell me my account when I joined?
Are you on your computer or the phone?
Yeah, I'm on my both. But yeah,
on the computer, go to the More tab and go to payment history, because then you can just scroll there and it'll tell you
payment history.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's see. I'm curious.
Well, let's see. Hold on. There's quite a lot. Let's see, February 25th, 2020.
Yeah, you've been around a while. All right, so I'm gonna put you on the spot since I have you here. What was like your first, win with Project Broadcast that you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be really helpful?
When I actually started using it.
That's important.
I paid for it for quite a while and never used it because I couldn't wrap my head around it, because also I wasn't even good at texting, period. Yeah. But now I use it for everything. I use it for my organization. I send birthdays, anniversaries. I send a weekly inspirational message to my team.
Isn't this anniversary really cool though? Like people
Yeah.
love getting here's the thing that I learned, and hopefully you have seen this too. When you send a message that has literally like nothing to do with buying something, and it's short and it's sweet and it's thoughtful, I promise you, will get the most engagement of all the messages that you send. Like we have people that send out a basic message, something as simple as, hey, was thinking about you today. Hope you're having a blessed day, whatever, something that basic. And you will be surprised how many people will respond and say, oh my God, I needed that today. Thank you. And it'll start conversations you haven't had with people in years or months. And to me, it just proves that like people are just hungry for community, right? They're really hungry for relationship. And if you focus using Project Broadcast on relationship building so that when there is an opportunity to ask for a sale, you can do that, you will get so much more value out of it. So, I mean, it's just night and day different between when we see a user only send out sales messages versus a user who uses it for all the other things on top of just sales messages. The engagement level they get it's just not comparable.
I sent out 35,800 messages with Project Broadcast. I like outbound.
Last month?
No, that's my lifetime. But
I was like,
this
oh my
month
word.
I've sent out like 3,000 almost this month. So I have 16,520 future messages scheduled to be sent, or like in the future.
You do team messaging. Are you doing any follow-up with it?
Yeah, so I have customer text messages. That's what I sent out this morning about a launch that was dropping, and I scheduled it last night and ended up with 4 sales from that, and that my commission paid for my month's thing. And I'm not saying like it's not, but I sent one out for the flash sale that was earlier this month, and I ended up with 32 orders from that on my website from the flash sale. So it was
sent that out this month as well.
Yeah. So I have like paid for the rest of this year, I think, in commission wise for my monthly fee. Because I can just, when we know that things are coming out in the future, we can schedule these to drop at 11 a.m. when everyone goes into the queue. So like, I mean, it does take 15 to 20 minutes. And I always send one to myself too. I know it's probably a waste of a credit, but whatever. I want to know.
But it's a good test.
Yeah. And so I send one to myself. So then when I get my text message, I know that my customers are getting it as well. And I can see what it looks like. So I always send myself one, but I use it now for everything. And my customers have now started messaging me on Project Broadcast when they need to order.
Because they don't know that it's not your business phone number. To them,
right. At the beginning, I said, save this number. This is my business texting number, so I let them know what it was for people who had messaged me like from my other number. But this, I'm telling you guys, Project Broadcast is, you want to work smarter and not harder. You need to use it. I mean,
and wouldn't you agree like that? I think the big key here is like a lot of people get nervous with like, believe it or not, they get nervous with systems and they're like, well, I don't want to be impersonal to my customer. I'm like, you can have a system, honey, and still be personal. Like that's just in the language that you use. That's in how you approach reaching out to people. It can feel very impersonal if you do it wrong, but if you're thoughtful about it and put a system in place to automate and keep it thoughtful and personal, it can totally be still thoughtful and personal to jump in.
And but I love it. So you guys, I mean, if you guys are looking for a system to replace Amy, this is what I don't even need to worry about because I didn't use Amy before. I always use Project Broadcast in an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, that's what I live by.
I know, Dawn, if you are an Amy user, I know, Dawn, you were working on something to help people know how to like export from Amy and import in a Project Broadcast. I don't know if that got where that ended up, but
yeah, there are a couple of tricks to be aware of when you're doing the contact import based on your contact export from Amy. So yeah, if anybody, I'm going to be posting in the Facebook group, and I think I'll connect with a couple of superstar directors too, just so they can get the word out. But I do have a cheat sheet for transition away from Amy. And then I also will be hosting like a live call mid-August that'll walk you through everything live from export from Amy to import to Project Broadcast to hopefully make that a little more stress-free of a transition for all of you. We just want to take care of everybody who uses Amy.
And I have a gift for you guys. So we didn't tell Teresa we were doing this, so I'm sure she won't mind. But we've talked about credits, right? The starter plan is $15 a month, and it gives you 500 credits for signing up for Project Broadcast. I created a referral code for you guys for tonight. It's good for 7 days. So if you still want to think about this tomorrow, you can. The referral code is Cincy 1500. So when you sign up for Project Broadcast, there's a referral code box. If you type in Cincy 1500, and I'll type this in here because hopefully I didn't misspell anything. So Cincy 1500 is the referral code. When you sign up for Project Broadcast within the next 7 days, it's going to add an additional 1500 credits to your account. So it's effectively going to give you 3 months of credits for you to start your journey with Project Broadcast. You definitely can start with the starter plan, go through your training, have plenty of credits to start building your follow-up or prospecting, or like Carol said, there's your Sensiversary or whatever else you want to send messaging on. And that's a gift for myself and Dawn for you guys taking the time. I know your time's precious and you spent kind of the evening with us to learn about Project Broadcast, which is, a blessing to us. So hopefully that'll help you get started. Now, what I always like to do at the end of these calls, and there's still 100+ people in here, so I'm curious how this is going to go, but we'll see. A lot of people said no, that they did not have Project Broadcast in the beginning. And I have no problem with that. So I want to know, and this is only for the people who said no, because if you said yes in the beginning, you already have Project Broadcast, we already have it. But if you said no in the beginning, but you really do think Project Broadcast can help your business, type the word yes for me to let me know if you are going to sign up for Project Broadcast. Now, if you still say no, then go watch the replay, because there was so much information here that's going to help your business. That's a lot of yeses. Now, don't forget, and I'm telling you, don't forget to do this, because I don't want a bunch of support messages. Put Cincy 1500 in the referral code box so that you can get the extra 1500 credits when you sign up, okay? And if you know you're going to need a larger plan out of the gate, then get the larger plan. That referral code will work with no matter what plan that you select. You'll get those extra credits automatically added. And when you sign up, first thing you're going to do is go complete Quickstart, which is where, Dawn?
Sorry, responding to a question. Training.projectbroadcast.com, Quickstart. And you also, when you sign up, you get a message from my line right away, Project Broadcast Success, and it has a link to the Quickstart in it. So you don't need to write this down or anything. We'll get you step by step through your account foundations.
And who is, someone asked this about the replay. Teresa, are you recording this on, this is your Zoom, isn't it?
Yes, it's a Zoom for our weekly training. Yes.
Got it.
So when we put the replay out tonight, I will make sure that we have the links that were discussed tonight. And also I will make sure that we include the referral code as well.
All right. So did we miss or have, I know we are a little bit over and I apologize about that, but did we have any outstanding questions that anyone needed answered before we pop off for tonight?
So one of the things I want to address real quick is I know that referral codes were bounced around in the chat just now. Someone asked if I had one. I think those that are using it, we do have a referral code. However, selflessly, we want to encourage you to sign up with the code Cincy 1500 within the next 7 days. Forget about referral codes tonight. We want you to get the maximum benefits, and you're going to get way more with what Jake and Don just gifted all of us versus using a referral code. So jump on that opportunity, the 1500 credits. And then once you're in the system and you want to share this with your team members and friends, then utilize the referral code. But right now, you're not going to get any better than the 1500 credit that was gifted to us tonight. That is Cincy spirit. We love it.
Yep, that's 3 months of Project Broadcast basically. And if you're already a Project Broadcast user, or once you guys sign up and you want to, like Teresa said, share it with others, believe it or not, there is a training at training.projectbroadcast.com called Sharing Project Broadcast, and it teaches you the different ways to share project broadcast with other people and how you can earn credits by sharing as well. So make sure to check out that training as well.
So it's basically the gift that keeps on giving.
It does.
So we just want to thank both of you tonight. I was not expecting you on tonight, Jake. It just says a lot about your company. I know many of us can say this, that just speaking with both you and Dawn, even outside of this Zoom, it just feels like our own company. You know, we kind of operate like a family, and you guys are very down to earth, very personable. And so we're very excited about this. I know that you've heard about the company Amy a few times, and I think even though everyone was muted, you could hear like this silent roar when Dawn said that there's a way that we can transfer it or export our contacts into Project Broadcast. One of the things, and again, we can take this offline, but one of the reasons why we partnered with Amy for so many years is that we had a partnership within Sensi, and so it communicated with our backstation, our dashboard. And so I want to just say that for all the SSDs that are on here, let's continue to lobby with our home office and even share this replay with the powers that be, because we would love nothing more than to have a partnership with Project Broadcast.
And we would love that. We talked to Daryl and the Sensi CTO. I forget who else was on the call, maybe a week ago. So I will tell you that, you guys expressing, your love for Project Broadcast is reaching home office. And, they effectively said that they were just astounded at how often Project Broadcast came up at conference, which is why we had the conversation. So I would say keep, having those conversations. We do have, enterprise relationships that we can put together for a company like Sensi, where kind of like with Amy, where your contacts are already synced into Project Broadcast, and we can do special things when we have enterprise relationships. So I would just say keep lobbying, and we'll do our best to reach out to corporate and continue to foster that relationship too.
Absolutely. We certainly will. Jake and Dawn, thank you so much. Thanks for your time this evening. And also thanks for the gift at the end, because you didn't have to do that. We really appreciate you all.
Absolutely.
We look forward to all, working with you all and getting the maximum benefits of Project Broadcast.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Teresa. Thank you guys again for taking the time to hang out with us tonight. Don't forget the referral code, guys. Use the referral code. And training.projectbroadcast.com before I go. You can get training for free at training.projectbroadcast.com. Okay. Tons of training.
Absolutely. Thank you all. And share this replay. Good night, everyone. And thanks again, Jake and Dawn.
Thanks, Teresa. Bye, guys.
You're welcome. Good night.